Okie dokie. So it's time for some K-pop Demon Hunters. So I know these are really popular extremely popular movie right now. Surprised it's surprised like the songs and everything are pretty good and everything. And I was just looking around Target and I saw this, and at first I thought it was a little CD or something small, and I was gonna get it for my niece. However, when I took a better look at it, I realized it's a no, you can't even see it. I realized it's a tiny like record, like album, like vinyl record, a miniature one, which I thought was really interesting. And because the problem with vinyls is, they're really big form of media, which can be good if you like to display stuff, if you like to have like a big collection of something. You got to pretty much four times the size of this, right? And it's a really good media because like the sound reproduction from it sounds so freaking good if you have a good vinyl, because good vinyl and a good system and everything, all that stuff, it could sound amazing, incredible, and everything. And so yeah, so initially I thought this would be a cool little thing for my niece, and then I just ended up picking it up because I thought it was kind of cool and I wanted to check one out. However, it's not very good at telling you like what's the record speed you need to do it, or like what it is, because like if you just look at this like quickly at a glance, you think it's the CD, and you buy this thinking it's a CD, for whatever reason, and then you take it home and then you open it and realize it's a tiny, you can kind of see it right there, a tiny vinyl record, miniature size, which again, I do like the form factor, and only getting like one or two songs, I do like that, and I'm totally fine with that if it's songs I like. And out of all the ones that I saw like in the little display they had, this was the only one that sounded interesting. There was a few others that were missing, but like if they had like, I don't know, like some Tyler the Creator, I highly doubt they would have like NERD. Like if they had like two of NERD's like greatest songs or something like that, like I would have gone crazy. I would have had to have it. But this was like the next best thing, and then I was like, okay, I'll try it out. And then the other problem that I could come to think about was, well, how would this work if you have an auto return turntable? Because depending on how big this is, you might not be able to play it. And then the other problem I had is, I'm like, well, what the heck is the speed? What's the playment speed? Because it doesn't, there's not enough stuff on here. There's plenty of room to tell me, but it doesn't tell me what the play speed is. And on top of that, like I'm like, well, what else is in here? Because it's kind of thick on the inside. So let me try to open it. So luckily, one of the other records there was nice enough to tell me on the back, plays on most 33 and a third, which is just the standard speed. So I thought that was pretty cool. And so yeah, I was like, okay, I'll grab it and check it out. Um, and so I thought, oh, that's actually pretty cool. When they're in the subway fighting. Oh wait, it's because it has take down. No, has your idol. Golden your idol, of course. Okay, but that's pretty cool. So it has an inside like a full, like if it was a full record album, like if it had like a four piece vinyl set, which is kind of cool. And then oh, so sometimes they'll put stuff in there, but everybody got everything. So yeah, that's the complete inside, which is pretty nice. The outside has them in the chibi, and it has the derpy cat and the magpie bird, and everything. But again, they should put more information. Oh, right there, really small print. Play 33. It says 33, but it doesn't say 33 and a third. It doesn't say that. And so this is an interesting slip. Whoa, this is an interesting slipcover. I do like how this is actually. Does it have the lyrics? No, it just has the credits. Okay, I got you guys look at the Chibi Saja Boys. Again, there's plenty of room. They could have been on the back or something. Or that would have been cool if you would have done a K-pop Demon Hunter front, and then the backside be the Saja Boys backside. And I know it'd be kind of hard to hide this, but if you maybe put that on the wrapper, on the clear wrap on it, so it's like, pick your favorite. That'd be kind of cool. Um, anyways, so yeah, just looking at this one, them again, Chibi, Saja Boy, Chibi, but interesting, interesting. How am I supposed to grab this? Come on, trying not to touch it. Oh, This is much different than I thought. Ooh, with like the style, Coke bottle style, clear. But this is interesting. I might have to pull out a regular record. So, yeah, I was kind of worried about if you had an auto return, but you might be okay. And I don't know if my record weight, because I have a record weight, but I think it might be too big because this last ring you could see right before it starts to get, crazy rings. Um, that might be just the right size of the size of what a standard sticker would be. But this does look really cool, and it is really thick. Like I was worried too about the weight of the record because you gotta have a little bit of weight to a record, so that way it has enough downward force naturally to hold itself. But yeah, that's kind of where the idea of a record weight comes in to kind of sandwich and make sure that the record itself has enough of its own friction to not slip and slide and give you distortions in the songs. However, a trend amongst just records in general that if you don't buy records, and if you don't look at stuff, this is literally a brand new record, and like there's already dust and dirt on it, and that's fair. Oops, my bad. Yes, dirt and dust, and I mean that's fairly common. The only times I haven't seen it is like in really well pressed, really well, like expensive records. Like I know when I got my Random Access Memory from Daft Punk, that vinyl record, like that, the packaging and everything was insane on that. It was like really well put together. That one, and then the my Japanese, like any Japanese records that I've gotten, they've always been like in pristine condition. I don't know if it could show up for you guys, but there's like a streak already, like right here. Like I don't think that was from my finger. No, yeah, it already looks kind of dirty and it's literally brand new. Okay, so I'm gonna just clean this really quick with my cleaner and like some stuff. I think I have the Audio Technica, the little cleaning kit, which is like the best one I've used. I did use a carbon brush for a while, but it kept leaving little carbon hairs, and from what I read and understand, if you don't buy like the super expensive carbon ones, it's kind of not worth it because it's gonna leave carbon hairs and all over the place. So completely ditch that. So yeah, I just have like a little soft, really soft cleaning little brush, really soft. Like I think it's a velvet soft or something else, and then the Technica Audio Technica cleaning solution that's in like a natural organic solution with like no alcohol or nothing in it. So I'm gonna try that, and I'm gonna try to play probably just one side. I don't think I'll play both sides, and just see how it is to test out this tiny record because I really like the form factor. I just wish it had songs or people that I like I actually really do like a lot, so I think my niece would like this more than I would, but let me go test this out. All right. So, I can't play the music, of course, because copyright and everything. However, I did try it out, and it did sound pretty good. Like I did notice some instruments and like some vocals and stuff that I didn't notice before from watching it on Netflix or hearing it like every single day because my niece literally watches this all the time, and she replays the songs all the time and all that kind of stuff. Um, and I did notice, however, it does feel like, if I remember correctly, the pitch, and my turntable doesn't have a way to adjust that. Like I feel like it's running a little bit too slow. Now that could be because this record, um, is literally like it's so shrunken down, it's super small. So this is like the inside of the grooves of a huge record, which most of the time most music is like nowhere near this range. So that could be why it feels a bit like slow. It doesn't sound very distorted, and the record is a bit dirty. I did, pull out my stuff and I did clean it. However, since it's so small, when I set it on the platter and on my slip mat and everything, even just trying to go within like the same way and like do it like how I clean all my records and everything, like to dust them and everything, um it was having a hard time not slipping just because it's so small. There's not enough surface area and its own weight, and it is thicker, so it does have its its own weight. It's pretty thick for such a small little record like this. However, it's like it's still not heavy enough, I feel like. And so I'm not sure if that's what's causing the distortions, if it's just not heavy enough, so it could be like slipping ever so much, or probably what the most biggest cause is it's so small, and this inner size of it and everything, it's to a point where the speed's just off, because with the record, when it's spinning on the whole platter like a full size one, 33 and a third, the range, it varies very slightly. The outside speed of the platter versus the inside speed of the platter, the outside speed is always going to be much faster than the inside of the platter. And there's a whole bunch of math and a whole bunch of random junk that most people don't care about. But have taken physics and everything. So I do think about that a lot more often than what I know most people care about. But it does lead to this being what I feel like ever so slightly slower. And if I had I think it's the pitch control to where I could speed it up like a little bit and slow it down a little bit. It's been a while since I've messed with turntable stuff. Um, I know the Audio Technica turntable I've wanted. It has that where you could ever so slightly adjust that. Where because I have the U-turn Orbit at the moment, and I absolutely love it because I like the acrylic platter. I have the Pokemon edition one. I think it's so freaking cool, because it's a really good quality and it's not gimmicky, and it's like it's solid, dude. This thing is freaking amazing. It plays records incredible, and it does have an orthophone cartridge. Um, and everything. And so yeah, so I don't think um it is yeah, my bad. I think it's just a little bit off, but it does sound really good. Like there was some instruments and some vocals that I did recognize, but I never heard it with like that level of clarity or with that, level of definition. Then again, I've only heard most of the songs through a phone or through a TV. And so yeah, I most of the time when I have music, I do have like lossless audio, trying to get the best. Like I actually do buy the songs like one at a time for songs that I like, which does get expensive, but I have such a big catalog of like lossless audio songs that adding one a month or two a month, like that's what I do because I hate streaming. I really don't like it. I'd like to keep my own music and keep my own library because a lot of songs I like, unfortunately, are not available on like digital. You know, really good example is before I tested this vinyl, I did a quick run to make sure everything was working on my setup. So I did play Tatsuro Yamashita's Love Spacey, and it sounded incredible. That album sounds incredible. But anyways, with K-pop Demon Hunters and the tiny vinyl, I do like the format. I do like the format a lot, a lot, a lot. I do like the extra attention to detail with like all this stuff and everything. Oh yeah, this if you're trying to use a record weight, the record weight I have was way too big. Like literally, it covered all like it covered all this, and you need all that because this is where the needle itself will start to get stuck and it'll just keep spinning in circles instead of going deeper into the record. So yeah, so I can't even use a record weight on this. Maybe if the tiny vinyl comes with a tiny record weight, that gives it just enough weight to maybe fix that sound problem a little bit because of it being a little bit too. No, it wouldn't be fast. It's going a little bit too slow. My bad. It's going a little bit too slow because the inside of the plate should be moving slower than the outside of the plate. Yeah, because if it was running fast, it'd have like a chipmunky distortion, but it doesn't. It's running slow, so everything sounds a little bit deeper than what it's supposed to be. My bad on that one, but a really cool format, and hopefully they make um, an album I like or like two songs that I like a lot more from an artist I really do like. But I know my niece will probably enjoy this for a little bit. But yeah, so that's all for this one. So thanks for watching.